Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the live stream where we review the watch list and then trade the market open every day. I hope everyone had a fantastic hump day and made some better trades than I did because, as you guys saw in the recap video, it was just a little choppy. But it was our first red day of the month, and it was only a $10 red day, or minus $10 red day, so not really too bad. Today is Thursday, January 16th, and it's 9:15 a.m. Market opens at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, so we got another 15 minutes before the market opens. So we'll review the watch list first in that time, and then we will trade the market open for about 30 minutes. Totally, that's 45 minutes of trading or just, live streaming. Check out the video description below if you guys got any questions. Let's get to the watch list. And, little side note. If you guys noticed, the live stream from yesterday still has the chat window on the side. So that little no trimming anywhere in the video on the YouTube side of things worked. What I basically did was I just didn't cut anything. Usually I'll cut the first 20, 30, 40 seconds of the live stream just because I notice I'm just staring at the camera because I don't get the timing right. But that is no more. Well, the timing still might be off, but at least I just don't do the trimming anymore. Yeah, good morning, Chain. Let's see what's going on. Honestly, there is so much flying today, and if you guys are on the Trade to Win forum, I posted my watch list there like always. Where did we even start? Okay, so let's talk about what spiked yesterday. Just kind of quickly look at that, and then let's move into some of the new stuff. Okay, so this is the 1 minute chart again, right here, the big one. The one on the left right here is the 5 minute chart, and this is the daily chart. This is how I've had it set up for quite some time now. I like it because it gives me a little bit of an overview. The 5 minute chart would be nicer if it was kind of a bit more expanded, but sometimes it's a little hard to read, but if you zoom in enough, it works. It just, then you kind of lose the overview a little bit. That's fine. Where was I? CETX. So this one was a big runner. It was kind of a big gapper, not really a runner. So let's kind of scroll back here a little bit. So actually just use the 5 minute for this one because this is a perfect example of why it's a little better. So we ran up here. It was totally flat for quite some time. You can see it on the daily chart. And then pre-market, we ran up tremendously. What was that? This was a 120% runner. And then, it tried to keep running. It did, pull back initially, and then it had, a little 30% move right here. But ultimately, you could see it on the daily chart. This thing basically just sold off the rest of the day, and it never really was as high as it started at. But then today, this thing pulled back to some 1.75, big support here. This would have been, a great just kind of overnight buy, I think. But we don't do that because it's really, really risky. If these things all of a sudden pull back to $1, you are stuck in a bad position. You'll never really be able to potentially recover from. Good morning, Sebastian. CETX, yeah, Android Con, that's an intense name. And Sora, good morning. So I don't know. Are we going to be trading CETX today? I have no idea. Something tells me we won't, but I got it on the radar. I want to also talk about OGI. Very quickly, this is the one we scored one nice trade on this. You can see it right here. I don't know what to say about this one. It was running quite nicely. It didn't really break out as hard as I was expecting, and then we bought a nice little pullback here near this big support, and this trade was pretty good. But this, out of all the ones, I should have probably just held it. And the reason I should have held it, let me get kind of to the right spot. Here we go. The reason I should have held it is because we are still above the VWAP, and there's massive support down here at the 2.75. And we already identified that we were not able to, crack it to the downside here. So big support here, and the chance of having a double top is very, very high. So this would have been probably the one to hold. And there's just so much more upside potential on this one. All the other ones that we were trading yesterday, like Flint and even CETX, they just had a lot of upside resistance. So big resistance here on FLNT at the $4, right? And the same with CETX. They just had all that big, heavy resistance on the top, and OGI didn't have that. So I should have been probably a little bit more aggressive on this one. You can see it on the long-term chart here a little bit better. Just, you know, basically their next big resistance point I'd probably say is like 3.5. And then after that, about $4. So yeah, this one just had much more upside. And then RBZ, this one spiked midday. Connor asked, am I using Pro real-time trading platform? I'm using ThinkorSwim from TD Ameritrade. I'm not sure if it's Pro. It might be. I don't know. I'm not paying for it. It's the typical one you get for free. And I think I left the link to it in the video description below, or at least I just kind of identified what it was. But anyone can get access to it. So RBZ, I had to make sure I was saying that right. Let me quickly go here to our watch list. And this is probably the craziest thing about today. So very quickly, CETX, 7 million market cap, 2.8 million float, massive. Like that's just a super tiny small cap company with a tiny float. You know, these things can really rip. RBZ, 11 million market cap, 3.4 million float. It's a single pour specialty retail store, gapping up 47%. And they came out with news near the end of the trading day yesterday, and that's why they had that huge spike. It was a strategic partnership with Twist, TWIST. I'm not entirely sure what Twist is, but I guess it's another specialty retailer, maybe. I don't know. But it definitely had a big effect on the stock price. So quick little... I mean, this thing ran up, you know, over 140%, so pretty big moves. I don't know if we're going to be trading this one, but I just wanted to point out CETX and RBZ because they were big runners yesterday. So we got another 8 minutes till the market opens. No real need to rush, but these are the real 3 stocks that are new on our watch list that we haven't talked about before that I want to mention because all 3 of these have giant gap and go potential. The first one, SXTC, 17 million market cap, 12.5 million float. It's a China generic drug company. This thing's gapping up 50%. They have a regulatory approval for its DNA exam laboratory. Okay, apparently enough news to move it, you know, about 50% up pre-market. The most interesting thing about this is just the size, 11 million market cap, 3.4 million float. I mean, this thing, again, can just really run. Not to mention, long-term chart looking pretty good. Right now, we're right around here, this 1.37 area. So it broke out past big resistance here, and now it's kind of finding some back support. So this thing could, again, it could really rally strong. I wouldn't be surprised if it maybe dipped down a little bit further first. Okay, then let's see. MNI, 3.5 million market cap and 4.39 million float. It's a USA newspaper publishing company, gapping up 300%. It looks like they might be in a agreement to be bought out by PBGC. I'm not entirely sure what PBGC is. That public broadcasting group. What does the C stand for? Personal Benefit Guarantee Corporation. No, that can't be it. 1 second, ticker. Yeah, Pension Benefit Guarantee Corp. That's a really weird acronym. Anyway, they got to deal with those guys, and you know, just kind of crazy, 300% run up. And, you know, more than really anything, more than the news, I would say it's just the fact that it has such a small float. So it doesn't even really matter almost what the news is sometimes. If there's just not enough people selling, these stock prices will just fly up because there's such a small amount of shares that you can trade. The last thing I want to talk about, NTGN. This one, kind of crazy looking chart. I don't know how I feel about it. Probably will wait for some sort of pullback. Actually, on all of these, we're going to be waiting for some sort of pattern to form. I'm not just going to blindly have limit orders out. So this one, 34 million market cap, 23 million float, USA biotech company, gapping up 77%. to acquire Neon to strengthen global leadership. They are looking to do an acquisition, acquire Neon to strengthen global leadership, to strengthen their global leadership position in T-cell therapies. Interesting. Okay, so acquisitions. We got a lot of kind of merger stuff going on here. Either partnerships or buyouts. Yeah, it's interesting news today. It's kind of like a little bit more mixed. In the last few months, we've been having just constant flow of U.S. biotechs or UK biotechs or whatnot. So this one's a little bit more all over the place today. No one specific sector. All right, so how are we going to trade these? Well, we're just going to take things really calm and collected. We're going to wait till the market opens, and then we're going to, see what happens here. Is one of these going to start taking off? Which one's going to have the most volume? Where's going to be the interest? Are there going to be some bull flags forming? Stuff like that. That's what we're going to be looking for. Sometimes you get some really nice flash pullbacks on these, especially near the hold numbers. So, this could, flash crash or, not necessarily in one candle, but dip down back to $1 very quickly before, continuing its rally to the upside. That's a bit unlikely, but maybe a bit more in this case, maybe 1.25 or something like that. Yeah, just huge potential on a lot of these. I'm pretty excited for today. I think it's going to be a really interesting trading day. That last big rally that happened 4 days ago, this one went to 1.19. So I just kind of want to identify that. That would be like right around down here. Actually, that's not true. Right around here. So yeah, again, this thing could see some big support at this 1.2 area. Just going to go ahead and put an alert here. And these alerts only go off once the market's open. Good morning, Ferrat. We're going to be trading today with about $900 position sizes. So still relatively on the lower end, just because I'm trying to increase the amount of trades I can do. So I took about a little bit of my position share per trade off, about $200. So we're back kind of under 1,000. So we got another 2:15 till the market opens. Good time to just relax, kind of think about where some potential entries could be, deep breaths, hitting the like button, things like that, healthy practices. This will be an interesting day. Man, OGI would have been the one to hold yesterday, and somehow in hindsight it's always obvious, but and even initially this one just had kind of everything going for it. Wow, DARE really ran yesterday, 28%. The thing about DARE is you need like a perfect entry and a perfect exit to make money on this thing. Okay, if you get a nice little breakout here, that's a clean 4%. But, typically when you're breakout trading, you're looking for those things that are running 10, 20, 30%. And then you don't even need a good entry and you could still make 10, 15%. So that's kind of my biggest thing about DARE that I just have an issue with. Another 36 seconds before the market opens. I'm going to be mainly looking at the the three that I wrote on the title of this video. But first, I want to see really what's moving, and that's kind of where my focus is going to be. Here we go, 7 seconds. RBZ has big resistance right above it, about 2.5. Nice little move right there. MNI, guys, this one's already up 260%. Some of the bigger dollar volume as well. Long-term chart, you want to be a little careful with this one. Big gap up area right here, $3 or $2 right there. Big resistance. Back at 300%. The way this thing runs is just insanely aggressive. 18%. CETX up 70%. Let's see what happens here when it touches this 2 area. %28 already. If we wanted to trade this, we'd be looking about 450 shares at the current price. I think it's about more like 500 at the current price. Just keeping an eye out on all the other ones. Pulling back a little bit. Soon I will be trading with 2 screens, but first I need to get a faster laptop. I can't do 2 screens and live stream, I've noticed. It just crashes. It's already at new high of day, up over pre-market. I didn't see the new news on the CETX. What was that one? Here we go. MNI running. Maybe we can get a little breakout bounce here, maybe at 1.5. Just, I don't know if it's going to really break out from this area it's at right now. This thing might crack $2 right now. Let's see what happens. I don't really think it will, but I just have a limit order near former breakout area. I'm going to move this down just a little bit. Yeah, no, I saw that. That was the news from yesterday, I believe, Shane. Which makes me a little nervous because I don't think it has any new news today. So it hit the $2. Now it's pulling back. It's a nice run, 28% run just like that. Huge. Buying this thing pre-market would have been pretty interesting. Again, if we wanted to enter at about 1.57, this would be just about the position size we're looking for, about 600 shares, relatively small position size. I'm going to put the auto send on just to be ready for any moves. OGI is breaking above. Really nice progress on this one. This one doesn't move as aggressively, but still, this whole thing is 7%. Really nice. Break up higher, first pullback, second pullback. We're getting ready for a third rally right here. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing went all the way to $4. I'm just going to keep watching MNI for a little bit. Here we go. It looks like this thing's going to try to break out right now too. 193 is getting chipped away. I don't think I could buy this breakout. I don't think I would have the willpower to buy this one just because of that resistance above. NTGN, it's hard to say when support's going to come on that one, so I'm not going to be focusing on it too much. SXTC is looking pretty good, actually. Big support down here. Might get a little bounce. This is a classic morning panic. 17% already. If we wanted to trade this one, we'd probably need about 800 shares. Let me just go ahead and remove auto send. It's one of these that's sometimes a little annoying to enter. Big sellers. Nice, Mavis. Good to hear. Definitely huge bounce potential. And I think here it goes. I wouldn't be surprised if it came all the way back. To 1.24 or something like that. RBZ pulling back a little bit here. This could be first pullback. I'm a little undecided today. Let's see what happens. Yeah, sorry, you're right. RBZ was looking pretty interesting. I don't like the fact that we have that much resistance ahead, but yesterday, my kind of paranoia with the resistance overhead also, it was like half warranted. We didn't get those big breakouts, and I think that was a big reason why, but I also missed a lot of opportunities because there was the breaks to the resistance zones. So this one, let's see what happens here. Just got to try to keep a close eye on everything. MNI might be setting up a really good 5-minute pullback. This could be a beautiful entry, actually. I just don't think I'm going to take it because it has that overhead resistance. I think if there was no major resistance at 2, I would probably buy this one. So let's see what happens here. Again, I could be totally wrong, and that's just okay. Sometimes you miss moves. 1.75. That's a good entry. Just got to be careful. This thing could break out nicely though. Keeping a close eye on RBZ 2.2. MNI breaking out to the upside right now. Kind of reminds me of Flint yesterday. This is exactly the same setup as Flint. Broke to the upside, had a 5-minute pullback. I bought into it, but it was just a little weak. It tried several times to break out to the upside, didn't happen. And then we took our like 1% loss, although we were up 3-4%. Here we go. 190 breaking out right now. 194, 195. Whoo! Andrew, you're already up like 8%, maybe even 10 at that point. RBZ just super sold off out of nowhere. Just really quickly, I just want to check this out. Got to be careful. A lot of big resistance above on a lot of these players. Markets are all up though. Quite a lot actually. That's can't deny that. Again, guys, little recap. MNI 3.5 million market cap. The market cap now is 10.8 million. So 3.5 million was yesterday. 4.39 million float. Or it was gapping up 300%. USA newspaper company looking to get potentially bought out by PBGC. Little shaky here with this breakout. Ah, man, I don't know if I could do this one. Honestly, buying this breakout might even be an option. I love how aggressive this thing moves. If we wanted to buy it, 500 shares roughly would be what we're looking for. So this is MNI daily chart with a bit longer term view. You can see there's horizontal resistance at 2, and there's also the 180-day moving average. So just a lot of resistance at 2. Kind of just cracked down a little bit here. I think that was basically a failed breakout. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it's going to keep rallying. Oh, look who it is. A box of cream. So although almost everything we're looking at is up, 50% to 300%, a lot of it's pulling back. it's all kind of just big gapping moves, but not going after the opening bell. Let's see what happens here. At least he went away with a profit. Could have been a big run, but again, that long-term resistance was a little too much for me. Really should have sold it. Yeah, 1.95. Yeah, I mean, hindsight, everything's 2020, right? Or you know, you sell at like $2 and you're like, woohoo, and then all of a sudden it goes up to like $5. You know, it's just lock in those profits when you have them. That's what I've learned. RBZ still kind of pulling back, holding its highs, or kind of holding the level though, but $2 seems pretty interesting. I'm gonna quickly check out the scanner. I gotta tighten up this scanner too. It's pulling up way too much stuff. $186 on MNI. Let's just see what's moving here. MK and RAD, REITE Group, CETX. We're pretty much looking at all the top stuff. The only thing I'm not really looking at is AMK. Do I even want to look at it? It's pretty big market cap. No, I'm probably just gonna avoid that one. I like what we're trading. I like what we're looking at. MNI, woo, could break here. Oh my. 420 buyers at the 2,000, 1,500, 1,800. Yikes, 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 yikes. This could be a big breakout here. I think it was just halted. I was like, wait, why is nothing happening? And then I was, okay, it was halted at 9:47 and 3 seconds. So 5-minute halt. This thing will open up at 52 and 3 seconds. Well, I guess now we could go on a little beer break. Just kidding. Just drink some water. Although there's a pretty nice beer garden right downstairs. Whew, tempting. RBZ pulling back. Pulling back quite aggressively, I gotta say. Should be big support here at 1.86, maybe 1.8. Definitely in the 1.7s. I'm gonna put a little alert on here, see how far this thing's gonna go down, create an alert. SXTC. This is one of the top ones we were looking at, pulling back so aggressively. Check out this bounce near possibly 1. Actually would love a bounce here in this area. You got to really watch out with these things that are just cracking. This thing is up on good news though. I'm surprised it's selling off so aggressively. SXTC, 17 million market cap, 12.5 million float, Chinese company, drug company. Maybe they have some sort of dilution going on here. Do I think it's necessary to watch level 2? Kind of. I don't know. I don't watch it as much as some other traders do, but I couldn't really imagine not having it, to be honest. I love watching orders get chipped away. I love seeing price and sales. Just makes me feel like I have a better pulse on the market. For day trading, for sure. I mean, for swing trading and whatnot, I guess it's not really necessary. NTGN might have a possible red to green move right here. I don't really want to call this a flag, but we have a nice break here to the upside, pulling back a little bit, consolidating. This could be another break past VWAP. I don't think I'm going to trade it though. But clear skies ahead on this one. I will put an alert out on it, create an alert. About a minute, I'm going to go back to MNI. Kind of curious if SXTC is going to break. Just going to put in a little alert on here as well. That was a heck of a move, huh? How much are data quotes on interactive brokers? Also, check out Webull. I have a link in the video description below. They might have level 2 for free. I would give that a check. I just don't know if Webull is available in your country. Why do stocks? Yeah, Andrew, I'm sorry. FOMO is real. Yeah, I can only imagine. Let's actually focus here because this thing is about to break out in a few seconds. I'll tell you why stocks get halted afterwards. Basically, if it moves out of the 10% range within, I think, 5 minutes, then it gets halted. Here we go. Should be unhalted any second here. I really want to watch SXTC. What's going on? Why is this halt not? Can I not add properly? 5 minutes. The pains of having a slow laptop. I don't want to risk opening a second screen, but I really want to look at SXTC. Should be unhalted any moment now. Should have already been unhalted. Maybe you got a 10-minute halt for being extra crazy. This is the trade I wanted to get right here. Huge bounce already. We'd be up 5% on this one. Dang it. Missed that. That is just not okay. Don't think it's going to pull back any more than it is already at. Maybe it will. Maybe it will. I would like to see this thing dip one more time. Another 5 minutes. Yeah, crazy, huh? This bounce wasn't all too strong, actually. It was supposed to be unhalted. Let's think about this for a second. At 2. So at 7, we should see this thing move again. Why was it halted for another 5 minutes? Maybe if it goes over 15%. Basically, halts happen if a stock in the last few minutes, I think the average move, so if you calculate, I think the closing time of all those moves is over 10%, then the stock gets halted. And that allows all the traders to kind of relax for a second, clear out their orders, just really just take a chill pill. And then stocks will also get halted if there's news about a company that just happened, midday news. I wouldn't be surprised if RBZ got halted when that news came out. But you could check the NASDAQ website. There's many reasons a stock can be halted. I think I just missed the SXTC bounce. That was kind of what I was waiting for all day. Bounce is just starting. I guarantee you that bounce is going to be beautiful. Whatever. It's small percentages. Which one is what, Farad? Should be another 13 seconds, 10 seconds now. Really just kind of want to watch this thing. I don't think I'm going to, buy, but let's go ahead and see what happens. I'm going to remove auto send. Here we go. Instantly higher. Woo. Yay. That's a 15% move already. Let's see how high this thing can go. I would actually like to see it maybe go past 2.5. MNI doesn't really have the history of these big gap up breakouts. Again, it's just so on edge with this one. Oh man, Andrew, yeah, it's a tough one. It's tough seeing those. 30% is a nice move. I still have yet to have I think over 15% gainer because I sell too early. 2.4. If we wanted to trade this, we would probably need something closer to 400 position size now. Yeah, honestly, that daily chart is just really not something you want to be trading into. I think I don't know what the statistics are, but I feel like 9 times out of 10 that move will not go in your favor. It's not going too deep than that. I'm not entirely sure. This thing was just halted again though. MNI halted a second time. Whoo! I would like a pullback actually to 2.09. Yeah, sorry, for RBZ. I think what I was talking about with RBZ was the news that came out and potentially being halted right here yesterday. A lot of good dip buying opportunities, guys. MNI halted. Oh man, guys, this no trades yet, but super fun just to kind of watch the market, huh? I'm going to have to think of a way so we can continue this chat room after the live stream. I have a Discord open, but it's right now just for crypto trading. So I might add a new section in that Discord group for small cap stock trading for the $25,000 challenge. I'll let you guys know if I do that, but it would be good fun to continue the chat room after the stream, because there's many times where I'm trading and I'm like, guys, I just want to be like huge, move coming up or big support. This is where I'm going to enter. But I can't do that, obviously. But it's also good just to kind of focus sometimes on yourself. So yeah, I am not about to buy MNI blindly. I would probably like to see a bigger pullback or something like that. I don't know. If this thing gets halted and you're going the wrong direction, you could be down 20-30% in like a second. Right now, to get the link to my the crypto Discord chat, you'd have to go to profitablecryptotrader.com. It's actually totally free to enter, and you can get the link there. There's like a Skillshare course that you can enter for free, I think for 2 months, and you can get the link there. The links are in the video description below. I just don't have a space yet for small cap trading, so I would need to set all that up, and I'm just trying to think like what would be the best solution. Last trade went out at 59.12. It's right now 2. So what is that? 10:02. 3 minutes already. I think RBZ could be a great bounce. Nothing's guaranteed, obviously. I think anything under 1.8 is clearly massive support. I also like former highs as bounce territories. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you with that. I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to take my break. I'm going to watch this breakout. You guys have been wonderful. It's just so fun trading with you guys. You guys also point out a lot of stuff that somehow I'm not fully aware of all the time. So that's really, really nice. We can all learn together. I wish you guys the best luck trading today. Freaking ripping all over the place, huh? Just so much fun. All right, guys, we got like another less than a minute. So I'm going to start focusing on that, get my second screen open. Let's do some good trades, guys. Stay safe. Leave a like if you haven't done so already. I appreciate everyone. I'll see you later, guys. Make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao.